Y'all ready?
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Team DC Lucky, and this is the BASSHEAD Diaries Chapter 23. Today we got Doug Stockton and we got Alan Dante, who holds the world record with a 184.9 on the Term Lab. So we're going to start this off with saying what's up, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Whoever's in here right now, leave some comments so I can see who's in here. Give a few shout-outs. Hey, Tiffany, SQ Sounds from Bridgetown, Barbados. Let's see who else we get in here. All right. I started this one a little bit early. Well, late, really, but normally I let the intro video kick on for a little bit, let some people jump in, so we'll wait a second. Give it like another minute. So what's the weather like over there right now, Alan? You're in Brazil, right?
It's hot today.
Hot? What's the temperature over there?
Right now, I'll say 100 Fahrenheit.
Over here, so we got a bunch of fires going on around here, and there's just ash falling everywhere, and it's miserable.
It's the same thing.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Very dry air.
Yeah. I went out a couple times today, and just the ash falling on you, and you're sweating. I'm itching like crazy. Just hard to breathe. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, breathing is the worst part. But very bad for testing the Volvo, too. Yeah, I think somebody... like the dry days.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I think somebody said the air quality in the Bay Area was like 3, or was it Lincoln City? Somewhere it's like 320. And I think it's like 100 and something is like bad. You know,
160 is unhealthy.
160, and it was 320 something. You seen the pictures of Lincoln City where we was just at competing? Oh, it looks horrible over there. All right, anyway, we got some people in the house now. So we got Lawrence, what's going on? We got Tristan, also from SQ Sounds, Bridgetown, Barbados. All right, so usually we start this off with, how did you get into car audio, and how old were you?
I was around 14 years old. You know, my daddy got a Chevelle, and I couldn't hear anything, just engine. I was like, man. And I got this little Pioneer kit. There was a pair of 10s and a pair of 6x9s and a little amplifier. And it was a tape. Don't even have a CD back in that time. It was back in the 80s, you know?
Yeah.
And by the way, I burned in my first amp. Yeah, when I tried to hook up, I ended up burning, me and a buddy of mine. We almost caught the car in fire, to be honest.
I'm glad I haven't experienced that yet. No. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I actually almost did from one of the lithium batteries exploding. I took it out just in time. So sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, mine was no experience. It was like, what is the positive? What is the ground? I don't know. Back in the 80s, we don't have the internet to go and see how to do things.
Yeah.
We gotta try and error, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, back when I was 16, I installed a stereo into my Pontiac Catalina, and I ran the wires underneath the door jamb on the trim, and I stuffed it with a screwdriver.
Poked it.
Caught my carpet on fire. And so we all jumped out right on the freeway. I was freaking beating it out with my foot. But yeah. I caught my car on fire too.
Or putting like the speaker wires underneath the little trim, and you go to screw your trim back down, you go right through the speaker wires. Yeah.
No, and then you can't get the speakers to work, and you call the factory and say, "Man, speakers are bad. It's your fault." You know?
Right. Yeah. So 14 years old, that's like the magic number. It seems like every time I ask somebody when they got into car audio, it's always 14, and that's probably around the time that I did too. I think I might have been 13, 12, but yeah, 14 seems to be a magic number so far. But go ahead.
My dad is a musician. He used to play drums in my house all the time. Then I'm always into a music and a lot of bass in the house. Like his band used to come down, you know. And I guess that's what inspires me into the audio, you know.
Yeah.
And it was my daddy's fault for sure. Art and, you know, motorcycles, all that stuff around home, and all his buddies, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, back in the time we used to do what your fathers do, you know.
Right.
Don't have the internet to make a different influence. You know?
Right.
And
So you passing this on to your son then?
say again, Roy?
Are you passing this on to your son then?
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, are you passing this on to your son? Can you hear me, Lucky?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I hear you good. Yeah. My son, he's real big into the computer world, you know. I think all the kids now are, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like he fixed the computer for us to talk it. I was unable to make it. He came here, blah, 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 and he's ready to go, you know.
Yeah.
Kids, they smarter than us for many things. But maybe they need to get more from us as far as how to deal with others, you know, because they so much into the computer. When personal, they don't know how to say. They kind of frozen, you know. Yes,
I completely agree with that 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So how old are you?
I'm 44 right now.
Okay, yeah, because when you started, it was tapes, and you said Pioneer is what you had, a couple 10-inch Pioneers.
My first deck was a JVC deck.
Okay.
And then a Pioneer amplifier and I think I call IMPP.
IMPP. Those were the ones that I had. I had a couple 12 IMPPs, and those things were awesome. I loved them.
Mine was 8s. My first was a pair of 8s, 125 watts RMS S4s. 93 dB sensibility, if I'm not wrong. It was very efficient subwoofer.
Yeah.
That's what they used to do it, you know. Now they don't do efficient subwoofers anymore.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Not at all. They care about hungry power. You know?
Oh yeah. So when did you get into competing? What led you to that, and how old were you?
I was around 17 to 18 when I first got my own car, you know.
So it didn't take long. From 14, boom, 3 years later, you wanted to compete?
Actually, I was in São Paulo. It's a big city here in Brazil.
Okay.
I was with a friend of mine that's really involved in car auto back then.
Okay.
They said, "Oh, it's a car auto competition here in town." And I say, "Yeah, let's go see it." That was my first time.
Okay.
And actually, it's funny because Alma Gates was in Brazil that time, and I saw her, and it was fun that she was in Brazil that time, and. Later, 10 years later, I met her in USA. I told her, I say, you know, my first car auto event I went, you was there.
Yeah.
Like, really? I said in São Paulo City. And it really got me hooked up. It was Wayne Harris he gave me a hat. I still have the hat.
Awesome.
Yeah. I still have the hat that Wayne gave me. That was 97 or 98.
Okay.
When I actually started DB drag racing thing, you know.
Okay. So what were you running when you started competing? What was your system then, and what numbers were you hitting in?
Yeah, my first system actually was Ayahuasca.
Okay.
SQ car.
Okay.
I tell the SQ guys all the time, y'all fault why I do SPL, because I got to judge it so shitty that I couldn't believe it. You know, I was making like 37 points on RTA, and the guy did 24 points and won it. I was like, wait a minute, I got a better score, but I ended up losing. But you know how SPL guys are. We leave the wires hanging, and we care about the audio, you know?
Yeah.
I lost the competition on the book, not on the meter. Then for me, SPL makes more sense back then. I was like, I go on the lanes, whatever hits, it wins. Not later on, you know, you don't need to be worried. It's a number that tells who's the best. And that's what actually got me hooked up to DB drag race. You know, the way to compete and not be guessing, who's going to be the winner, and later on somebody else win it, you know.
Right.
And, nothing against the SQ guys. Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, I completely understand. I agree. It's tweets their own, but yeah, I'm a DB guy myself. DB drag all the way, 100%. So, but yeah.
I love SQ cars. I still build them, but I won't compete because the way the judging thing is. I prefer not the SPL cars actually has a lot of quality in the audio because otherwise it won't get louder.
Right.
But the judging way, I prefer the meter thing, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. The number pops up. It is what it is, right? Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
30 seconds, buddy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Hey, just to let the people know, if you're watching on a watch party or on a different page, we may not see your comments. So we aren't ignoring you again, Lucky.
I forgot to say that the last couple of live feeds that I did too. So he did just say it because I get done with these live feeds and then I go back and I see like 30 questions that were not in here. And that's what I found out is when people start watch parties, that's the comments and questions we will not see. So thank you for
answer later. No problem.
Right. So back on that, you got somebody in here that said that 184 is nice. Correction, it's a 184.9. And we all know 1 dB is huge. So, you know, a tenth away from a dB. So 184.9.
So when you get above 180, 1/10 of a dB is huge. Now you're talking 184. He's almost twice as loud as somebody doing a 180.
Yeah.
That's twice as loud as somebody doing 180 almost.
The crazy thing about this SPL, because a lot of people don't understand, this is a log number.
Yeah.
When you double the pressuring, it's not like you're going from 100 to 200.
Yeah.
You're going from 100 to 106. And people are like, what? That's double? Yeah, that's double the pressure.
Yeah.
And that's the log number. And when you come to 180s, then you imagine it gains 60 dB. It's just a ton of pressure and power. And I mean, you got to deal with something that no one ever done it. It's crazy. Yeah, I go through stuffs on testing.
Yeah.
That most of the competitors will not imagine what car audio can do it. You know, for example, the other day I saw a guy inside somebody's extreme car, and I was like, man, I told Wayne Harrison, man, that's crazy. That can kill a person, you know.
Well, were they doing? Were they getting a SPL demo? Is what was happening? Or was they getting?
Yeah. 175 dB car, and they're getting demos. Like, man, that's dangerous shit right there, you know. Yeah.
So I've got a couple of those, and let me tell you, they were not fun at all, at all. I'll just say I've been in a black van that. Yeah.
That one.
Woo! Yeah. That thing tore me up.
What frequency plays?
What was that?
What frequency was?
You know what? To be honest with you, I don't even know. We were just there, and he was like, "Hey, you want to see what I think he said a 172 feels like demo or something?" And we just jumped in the van, and it was just yeah, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Just yeah. So I don't even know what he was tuned to.
If it's below 40 hertz. You depending on the person, cannot return it. And we'll have a period problems, you know. Once you pass 170 dB, it's danger.
Yeah.
I've been exposed to 173
Ugh.
at 70 hertz. A Chin Loud Volvo. I was inside, he burped it. I was like, motherfucker.
So now the door was open, if that counts.
The door was open,
so
and
when
I went in and he burped it.
Yeah.
173 dB on the dash. I was like, woo.
Yeah.
With extreme cars, though, when the door's open, it loses a lot of pressure.
Yeah, lost 70 dB.
Yeah,
so you lose a lot of dB with the door open on it.
And see, that's how
extreme car.
Yeah, see, that's how it was for us. I think it was it might have been Brett Barber with me. I'm not sure. I think it was Brett Barber, and so the door was open because it was going to be nasty, you know, but it scared the shit out of me. I was just talking to a guy today actually when I went to go pick up my decals, and I go there all the time, and he's like, "Oh man, your truck's so loud, it's so loud." And I split the top of my roof open a couple times. I've ripped the hinges on the back of my hatch, and I'm only doing 155s. I'm a demo guy, and it's a musical build. So I told him, I said, if you think that I'm loud, come to a car show, you know, where we do the car auto competitions, and you'll see loud. And I told him, I said, the guy that I'm interviewing tonight, I'm doing a 155 and some change. And the guy I'm doing tonight is a 184.9, which is just insanely more louder than mine. You know, they don't get it. You know, if you say I'm doing a 155.5, yes, they don't understand it. Just 1 dB is huge. So to be a 184.9, yeah.
What we said earlier, you know, you go over 180s, everything. I remember very clear when I was dealing the first time with the 180s. It was crazy. I was back in North Carolina. I used to live in Charlotte.
Okay.
North Carolina.
Okay.
And then there's a judge from North Carolina, very old judge, Fred Jr.
Okay. Fred Jr. I haven't heard that name yet.
It's Fred Wright Jr. is who
Fred
it
Wright
is.
Jr.
Okay.
Yes, he was out of Florida, and he would come up. He was one of the original judges from the late 90s, before I was a judge. He's still a judge, but he does very few shows a year.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. So yeah,
he owns an SPL association.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I remember me and Ryan Schaefer from south of the border. We was testing the Volvo 7098, 7999. I was like, wow, we can't see the 180s. Bah. You know, we called Fred. I said, man, can you brought your meter over? It was like a half hour away.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, of course. He brought it in. And it was funny that he came in and said, do you realize you got a bolts loose in your doors? We were so excited to burp it. It was like, wait a minute. He drove half hour to tell us our bolts are loose.
Yeah,
that's a funny story, but it's true. And
yeah.
we tied down, and the car did 180.5, you know?
Yeah.
Dang, that's a big jump.
Hey,
that bolt was important.
Like you said, the driver's door cannot leak air, you know?
Yeah, every little thing.
The driver's door, you kill everything. You know?
Yeah, every little thing with my hatch, when my hinges crack, you know, it's going to make a difference, you know. And then I started hearing from people, hey, your doors, you know, they flex when the bass hits. You know, when you're demoing, they're going to give, and you're going to have a bigger gap at the crease. That's going to let air out, you know, every single little thing. And now I'm learning that's why, like, the major SPL guys, that's why they tow them. That's why they don't drive them, because once they get them dialed in exactly the way they want, they don't fuck with nothing. That's it. It's not, you know.
People need to realize that a 185 dB car, every time I turn on, I'm exploding something.
Right.
I'm hurting the car every time.
Right.
And most people don't, oh, why you don't do a lot of testing? I said, I can't. I got a limit of testing that I can do in this car before I hurt it.
Yeah, completely understand.
Right now, the car is under, I would say, we need to see how far it can go. Then right now it's on holding. I'm not touching, I'm not testing, and the car's just waiting on batteries right now to see how far it goes, you know, because if I keep on testing, I can hurt the ending number.
Right.
You know, right now the car can resist it around 183 dB. I can test it, no problems. Will not hurt the structural.
Gosh.
But if I push it around 185.5, 186, then yeah, I'm hurting the car every time I'm burping because the street throw
Wait a
is
minute.
not prepared for that.
Okay, so so in other words, you're above a 184.9 now. So you're
Yeah, we in the garage, you know, but garage testing,
oh my
gotta
gosh.
believe.
So
Garage
just
numbers are always higher than show
right.
numbers.
Yeah. So okay.
Have to be louder.
Yeah.
Everybody tells.
Yeah.
Oh, what's have to be louder at home?
Yeah. Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. So so what's the most memorable show you've been to? Like what I watched part of your video and you're like your I know you said that your favorite memory was the first time you hit a 180. Is that correct? Was a 180?
Yeah, many times I went across shows where 110 was a big deal. I want to say this, but I think the most important show for my life was when we first won World Finals in 2006.
Okay.
The 180s was in 2007, but win World Finals after years and years and years trying and error and getting DQ or whatever, you know, many issues. I have a 4 chances to win before, and always a little mistake and take the trophy away from my hands.
Yeah.
And then when I finally got it, it was a good feeling. DB Drag Racing brought me that feeling. I think it's the same feeling as any other sport.
Right. Right.
When you first win a championship, it's a word. You're dealing with a planet. You're not dealing anymore with your neighbor or your city. Deep drag racing is a sport that goes around the planet. It's you know, you got to understand. Back in that time, in my class was Extreme One Woofer. It was like 15 cars.
Yeah.
Win wasn't easy.
Yeah.
And we was beating Extreme One Woofer and Two Woofer cars back then. It was almost louder than the Extreme 5 Plus. You know.
And now you know why, though, right?
Yeah,
because then you get cancellation and stuff like that happening, right? So,
actually, I think what I figured out back then is the techniques we using to building was not strong enough to build systems with many subwoofers. And I figured out, said, man, why should I put so many subs? It's just going to create more vibration. I prefer use less and focus the energy as far as they can go, you know? And the acoustic energy on that one woofer car was totally crazy. It was
Lucky's still waiting for that feeling. It's coming soon. The world champion feeling. He's getting close, but he'll get there. But he hasn't felt that feeling yet. And I could, you can tell him for sure, you know, that just the feeling of being a world champion or even being part of a team that wins a world title is freaking awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's any sport, you know. And for our sport, what I like the most is if you really want it, you can make it happen.
Right.
You know. And the ideas and the designs are out there. You just need to interpretation.
Right. Right.
SPL has a lot of physics. You need to pay attention to details. I don't want to say names, but I'm helping right now 3 different extreme competitors. Everyone has different way to do things, and they are getting different results because they work their way. And I try to explain these guys at the beginning now. Even the ones that have a lot of experience in other classes, extreme vehicle has so many things that you can do with.
Right.
You can get crazy and lost very easy. Sometimes you've got a piece of diamond in your hands, but you don't know how to polish.
Right.
An extreme car is that. You can do everything. You can brace windshield doors. It's unlimited things you can do as far as you can follow the rules dimensions for your car interior. You can do as many things you want as far as reinforcement. And then, of course, if you study about the frequency you're going to use and the wave link, if they can fit in the car, The one woofer car, to be honest, was a decision because it was the only way to understand 100% how far we can push a speaker. And I guess if I didn't have done that system, I was not able to understand what I'm doing now.
Right.
And it's funny how competitors can go from little class, try to build the big systems. And you pay attention, most of those guys, they can't get success because they go across problems they never went across in the street classes. They never figure what the hell going on. And you dealing with stuff that no one ever done. It's no book out there that tell you how car auto needs to be made or SPL vehicle. That's no book.
Yeah.
We figuring out
trial and error.
Future kids, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are the ones doing the book.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So there's been 2 questions so far. I can't see Tristan's for some reason. It won't let me scroll up. Oh, here you go. I got it right now. So Tristan, the one in Barbados, I talked to you a little bit about the Barbados people.
Yeah, the
Anyway.
Barbados guys, yeah.
Yeah, so this is them from
SQ Sounds.
SQ Sounds in Barbados. And then, so their question was how long the vehicle took, but I want to change it a little bit different is, you know, how long did your original vehicle take to build? Because I know that took years, right? And then if you were to start from scratch today, how long would it take you to build a car of similar loudness?
Up to 183 dB, I can do it in a blink of eye.
Yeah.
Because the math is done.
Yeah, it's all the trial and error first. Yeah.
It's math. I know what to do. When you reach some point in a project, it's kind of crazy. You can you can be the best acoustic engineer in the planet. But when you actually turn it on, you will see things that you didn't thought about it.
Yeah.
And that's what the work comes. And I try to tell the guys, say, look, you can make the strongest stuff around the planet, but if you know how to deal with the structural or how to make that pressure to move it, you're not going to get nowhere. Then I think 182 to 183, it's really possible to do it in 6 months of work. I think it's possible. I think it's possible. If the guy follows everything like we're saying, you know.
Okay. And how long did your first one take you, though?
The Volvo is the same car, but the first car was a Chevy Impala that I built in 2000. It took me 2 years to do 170s, and then 3 years to do 173. It's a learning process, you know. Back in the 90s, I'm so lucky to be part of that part of the time because most of the new competitors won't be able to get the knowledge we was figuring out along that time.
Yeah.
Doug knows what I'm talking about. Back in then, it was like, you go to a show, every competitor was talking, hey, I done this, I done that. That's how we learn it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was sharing way more than now, the information. But it's crazy. We didn't have internet, but we was going to shows and everybody let each one look their car.
Yeah.
And it was funny that I picked details. Oh, I done this in my doors. The other guy say, oh, I done this in my baffle. And I was like, wait a minute. Let's build a car with all this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how my first car came. It was totally lucky, but a lot's listening from others, you know?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I see somebody in here, Donald says, Alan, explain.
Don Hebig. That's DB Don.
Oh, DB Don. There you go. Okay. All right.
Oh, smart question, Don.
Yeah. Explain the change of going to different setups, cones, etc. No setup is exact. Jason Field says so true. But yeah, so there's one for you. I want to let these guys get in here and get some questions in too, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be having some. So.
Yep. And who is Mariana Dante?
Mariana is my mother.
Your mother's watching us right now on the internet.
She's the biggest fan.
Yeah, she's your biggest fan. That's awesome. It's good to hear.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. My mom just walked in the door of our house right now. I seen her pass by. She's sitting down. So
We all around our family here in Brazil, and my family, it's the support for everything. Because when you're in high performance competition, sometimes your family has to give you a big support.
Yeah.
And understand what you're trying to do.
right.
You know, to be honest, the last 4 years ago, when I start this new project, it's like BB Dunn said, we was digging every detail. Cones, after we got the car built, it wasn't done yet. It was still a big process of getting the right speaker for the car. I mean, right now, if I change subwoofers, my score goes down. It's got to be the right speaker, the right suspension, the right cone. And, you know, and every class is like that.
Right.
You know? I wish most of the competitors has the chance I have that has a manufacturer behind me to actually do the things I tell, you know, because that's how my car develop better product for the public. You know, when we say we need a better cone, the factory doesn't, they ask me what you need. You need a better cone. Anyone can say that, you know, but we actually tell the company what we need. You know, we need the cone like this, like that, the angle like this, and that. When we test it, we see the change, and we just made. If it's better, we just made improvements.
Right. And what brand do you run? Okay, so can you guys still hear me right now? Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, I had something go across my screen, said something about my
you're
internet.
Freezing, but I can hear you.
I'm freezing. Can you hear me, Doug?
Yeah, you
Doc's
did. You
freezing
froze
too.
now. I can hear you, but your video's frozen.
Okay, because it just had a thing go across my screen. It
I
says
know Mike Del Monte says. Mike Del Monte says I need
Mine's working
glasses.
fine.
Yeah.
No,
Alan's
yours
is
is
fine.
frozen.
Yours is frozen up there, Mr. Lucky. Are you gonna get kicked out again, and we're gonna take over the whole damn thing again?
You know what?
Like,
So I'm frozen, but you guys could hear me, right? Oh, no.
Yeah.
we can hear you just fine.
Okay, so what's weird is the last two live feeds I did, I think it's been, it blacks out and then comes back. So I don't know what's going on, but right now is the first time across my screen it just said your internet connection and then it went away. So I don't even know what the rest of it said because my camera setup right here is in the front. So hopefully it doesn't black out. If it does, hopefully it'll kick back on. It's really weird. I upgraded all my internet stuff, so I have no idea why it's been doing this lately. I don't know if it's the fires and the smoke. I have no idea if that's messing with signal, but yeah, now I lost my train of thought. I had a question for you, and now I can't remember what it was because I thought everything was just going to black out.
You were asking what brand you run
Yeah, what subs and amps do you run and all that?
currently.
Right now, the subwoofers is B2 parts,
Okay.
but it's designed for the car. It's not something you can go out there and buy.
Right. It's all just custom built. Okay, gotcha.
It is a B2X and subwoofer in there, but the kit, voice coil, cone, spiders, tensily, dust cap, surround, everything that moves is a specific design for the car by B2.
Okay.
That's why it's hard to beat the car because you need to deal with companies that can develop parts.
Right.
It's not many out there right now. That's one of the reasons when I left DD, I looked straight to B2 because I was like, man, these guys are develop parts. They actually want to be an engineering company.
Right.
And that's how it works with SPL. You got to be around those guys. Otherwise, you know, buy in China and put your labor on it is not going to work for SPL cars.
Right.
You the limit.
Right.
You know, I prefer work with companies that actually developing parts, they own engineering, they own technology. and B2 hooked me up really well on that. Jay is awesome, man. I mean, you tell him something, he tell you right away, say, hey, let's do this. You know, I like work with people like this that's actually wants to develop better product and learning from our problems, not actually, oh, you burn subwoofers, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't burn, dude. It happened this and this and this. We went against this much pressure, and this is what happened.
Right.
And then that's what I like the most, the working between the audio and B2. Actually, there's many others out there like Sundown Audio. And I mean, we can keep on talking here. There's a few other companies out there, DC Audio. I mean, it is guys out there that really care about it to build their own product, the unique stuff. You know?
Yeah.
And I think Americans in the world must care about those guys, because those are the ones that later on you go in China and find us something to buy, because those guys are creating stuff.
Right. Right.
It's funny, but that's how it works.
Yeah. Well, I got this video I wanted to play too. We're at 35 minutes right now. We're going to stay on for a little bit while longer, but I do want to play this video. Let me see here. This is when you hit that 184.9. So
you won't be able to see it, Alan.
Yeah, Alan, you won't be able to see this. Yeah. So I'll come back in here. You'll be able to see us.
I saw in live.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. All right. Boom.
First one is unforgettable.
Yeah.
The energy that you feel being a winner after many, many years.
Sure. Yeah, and if you're watching it live on your phone, it's about a 20 second delay.
I didn't know as much I know now.
What you see on your phone or whatever is really far behind.
Sure. You know, because you're never sure what you're doing. Now I'm more deep into the physics and the details.
So that's Wayne Harris that's interviewing him, right? Was that Wayne Harris interviewing you?
The 180.5 in 2007 was definitely what has
was
made
waiting
the
on
180 around the world, for sure.
Man, he looks old now.
180s and deep drag was
You
just
look young in that video.
crazy.
Well, 184
I
is a
guess
lot.
it's
I mean, compared to 180.
the hair.
Yeah, you were all cleaned up.
184 is way beyond.
When I watch this video, you could, you know, Wayne Harris doesn't, you know, really cuss or whatever. You know, he speaks real proper, and it was funny because I heard him go, "Holy S!"
You know,
when he hits.
You want to know something funny? On Saturday when I qualified, I said really bad words. I was expecting to do 184 for a long time. You can do it at the home, but when you first see in the lane, it's
Yeah.
I don't care. You can do whatever number in the house, but when you do in the lanes, it's different.
That's where it matters at.
And I knew I have 185.1 in my garage. Yeah, I'll be honest, that's the number we left home doing. 185.17, 185.15.
Well, we appreciate your participation.
When I saw
in our live
184.3, I was like, wow,
Hey.
it's going to
Thank you,
happen.
and
You
you
know,
have a good
because
show. We'll see you in a little bit.
that number was 183.9 at that point.
Yeah. Okay.
In my meter.
So here we go. We're going to play the part right now where he actually does his burp, and let's check this out. And I love it. Listen to Wayne. I love you, Wayne. So don't take this the wrong way. I just thought it was. I thought it was funny because he is polished when he talks.
I got him talking shit.
The Ray Choi.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alan's
Real good judge.
final run.
That was a fun show.
Holy
He hold his mouth. You know?
Yeah.
He was going to hold his mouth.
Yeah. Look at that. And then he goes, "Don't fall off. Don't fall off."
He was excited because I showed him the numbers on the book. And then he said, wow, man, you're going to do this in the lane. I say, I'm going to try. I'm going to try 185 today.
Who's up on top of the van or truck?
Oh, there's me, my son, and 3 friends.
Okay.
2 or 3 friends. Everybody started going over and jumping the roof. one guy almost fall in my amplifiers. You know?
Yeah.
Wayne posted on in the comments, holy sheesh.
Yeah.
He hold his mouth big time.
Yeah. So, yeah, when I was
Think about this. You see the excitement out of someone that create this sport.
yeah.
There's no other motivation than that.
Yeah.
Keep you working. Wayne started this way back, and he was so excited many years later to see a competitor breaking a crazy score, you know. And I think Wayne Harris and DB Drag Racing is really excited for us to break numbers. They like to see that.
And he seemed excited, let me tell you. I mean, he was going on and on right there, man. But yeah.
He really likes.
Yeah.
I bet I got a big respect for him, and he had created a sport that involved a lot of people around the planet, and we got to respect that, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and car audio actually moves around DB Drag for many, many years.
Yeah.
Depending on what you do, man, it affects your, you know, DB Drag race. I tell because my sponsor, you know.
Yeah.
So Wayne, you know, I talk to Wayne often, and so Wayne mentions that one of his biggest, the biggest love of what DB Drag has been is how it's, you know, partially brought people together, but it's also created a place for people like Roger Bridges, you know, extreme competitor. Now he's one of the top guys for Crossfire, right? So all these people are getting into the industry through the sport that he helped create.
Yes, that's correct.
And that's something he's really proud of, is that he can help people better themselves through an industry that, I'm not saying it was just Wayne, but he was a big part of what made the SPL industry as large as it is. You know,
it is. Wayne Harris actually has I totally agreed with your words, because DB Drag has opened doors for many competitors to actually begin your own business. Sundown, Jacob, I remember seeing him around shows back in 2005, 2006, walk around with the amp under his hands and trying people's car. You can tell.
Flowers too.
Yo, we're from North Carolina. He's from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And we always met in the shows, you know. And I'm saying his name because it's another guy that came from the competition. There's a company out there right now. Jay from B2 starts B2 because DB Drag Racing, competing, and so many other companies. You know,
Incriminator, right? Incriminator Audio.
Yeah.
They started in the lanes, and now they're a good-sized company. You know, they employ a handful of people, and all because of the competition scene, right?
XS Power, same thing. I remember, to be honest, I was the first guy sponsored by XS Power.
Oh, wow.
Scotty, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, Scotty gave me 24 batteries.
Wow. Yeah.
That was the 16-volt ones. Power back then it was Power Master.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see here. We got Chemo in here. 184.9 dB.
Scott is a good example too, man. He used to be a competitor.
He was a good competitor back in the day. Very good.
In the Super Street classes, and now he owns a business.
Who are we talking about? I missed that part right there.
Scotty Johnson,
Okay.
The owner of XSPL or XS Power.
Okay, I was reading some of the comments right now. Chemo has just said 184.9 dB. Man, that Volvo has came a long way since 2007. Shout out to Chemo. Alan helped design our team's trooper. I'm just trying to. Hey, there's. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, Doug, but Wayne said, "Holy sh."
Yeah, that's okay. That's when he posted that.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Hey, so Alan, did you ever hang out with the twins?
Yes. To be honest, I used to come to Nashville. Fine.
Right.
I compete there 3 times, but 4 times that I went over, I was just walking around as a normal spectator guy. And I talked to twins a whole lot, and they has like a little Honda Civic, extreme Honda Civic back then.
Before the Trooper.
Way
Before the
before.
Trooper.
Way
Yeah, I know.
before, way before.
Yeah, I know.
And the Trooper actually was a design that came after 180s.
Yep.
It was.
I was with them when they broke their 180 with the Trooper.
Oh yeah, in Canada. No, they
No,
did it in the US.
They did it in U.S. at the finals in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it was 180.9. No.
Yes.
180.9.
Yep.
Yeah, the twins, they very smart guys.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very smart. They follow details. And I think the sport missing two big competitors right there. Those guys are, they can add to the sport for sure. They have lots of knowledge. I learn a lot from them. It's like I said, sometimes, you talk to a competitor because he thinks you know more than them. And then later on, if they are talking something to, they'll say, wait a minute, what you said? And inspire you to try something new, and that's how it works. And that's why I like to deal with many competitors, because you always learn something new from others, You don't know everything. Nobody knows.
Right. Right.
And I'm sure what I did in my car is to be honest, lots hard working and focusing, because it isn't easy, but it's not impossible for anyone to do it.
Right.
I study a lot, physics, and like I said before, learning a lot from others.
Yeah.
I pay attention to what others doing. Why this affect his car so much? Mine doesn't have that. I want to try this in my car, and it works.
Yeah.
There's so many things that I've done this way. If we're gonna put names here, I'll say I learned from Scott Owens. I learned from Mike Bartels. I learned from Fred Wright Jr. Back in the 90s when I first got to the US, those guys was teaching me everything. Jay Lovelace, Eric Reed, Larry Benton, because I was in North Carolina area, and those guys are the ones that hug me and say, "Yeah, come in, join the sport."
Right.
They actually show me many things.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, to be honest, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so you say all these names and whatnot. Do you still have friends that, guys that you consider your best friends, like because of the sport? That people have come into your life and you intend to have them forever. I know Lucky's got a good handful, and he's only been doing it 2 years. Now we're talking to somebody that's been doing this 23 years ish.
Yeah, DB Drag Race 23 years.
Yeah. So you have a handful of guys or certain guys that you still talk to, and
I think most of the competitors that I compete against it, we friends.
Okay.
We only not friends in the lanes. In the lanes is myself and they selves, whatever we get it.
Yeah.
But I can say it's a handful of guys that I met across these years that I still consider a true friends, that I can trust it. They be my friends. Like I give a good sample, Ryan Schaefer from south of the border. We still talk. And he's not have nothing to do with SPL anymore. He don't even want to build a car, but we still talk.
Yeah.
And him and a few other guys like Steve that just passed away from Virginia. With so many guys from Trinidad Tobago, guys from Germany, Switzerland, Sweden. I got a good friend in Sweden.
What about Tor? Is he one of your buddies?
Oh, Tor, I like Tor.
Is he the one that DQ'd you?
Yeah, the only problem about Tor was in 2003. It was a funny story.
So what DQ'd you? I got to hear this one. I'm ready for this.
What happened was this. In 2003, at the beginning of the year, Ryan Schaefer came to me and say, "Hey man, US Amps is bringing back some big amplifiers. Do you want to run the amps?" I was like, "What? US Amps? Of course." And then we drove down to Jacksonville in Florida, straight to the factory. And my car was inside the production line building amps for my car. And I was on one, I'm lucky to say I'm on the last man that saw the real US amps. I mean, I was the last man to be inside the factory and watch Dirk working in the amps and tweaking up the impedance rise to match my car. I mean, I saw that man in action, and Dirk from US Amps was a hell of a smart amplifier engineer. I mean, he was doing crazy stuff back in the days, you know. And 2003 finals was special because US Amps, Dirk was the engineer, but Jack was the owner, and for him it was kind of a coming back thing, you know. US Amps was in a bad position. They want to build a big number to bring the market back to the brand, but it was crazy. We got so loud. I remember. I don't want to say names, but we was running somebody else subwoofers, and then he called Jessa from DD and say, "Man, we need your subs here." He's blowing stuff like crazy. And then it was a Chinese speaker we were running, and the DDs fixed the problem, and we was able to actually see the car play in full tilt. And it was funny that we got to finals, we ran the car all perfect, and then on the final round against Cara Lucius, we was head-to-head at the final round. I had the wrong disc. I was using the 2002.
Damn it.
Wrong disc, huh?
Yeah, the wrong disc, and then I ended up getting DQ.
Yep.
And US Amps was like so mad to me, they fired me.
Damn it.
And I will tell you, some of those extreme cars back then were pretty though, huh? Like Cara's.
Yeah.
Cara had a gorgeous vehicle.
Nathan,
oh yeah.
Gorge, and Nathan did 174.5, I think that year. No,
Nathan Munson.
Nathan Munson.
So that's when he was doing a single 10 in the CVC,
no,
right?
Actually, it was the yellow Astrovan.
Oh, okay.
The yellow Astrovan. It was Nathan and somebody else.
So there was Norris doing it back then, right?
No,
Jason.
Norris was doing the silver van.
Oh, 5 plus or something, right?
Yeah,
he was 5 plus. That's right.
It was a 12.
Oh, 9 plus. 9 plus.
Yeah.
Yep. But his car, Scotty's car looked awesome back then too.
Well, another car that I really liked back then, when you looked at Alma Gates Bronco, it was like, man, the install was insane. I mean, everything was perfect. Wires, and then it was Team Pure Sound. It was good work too. I mean, there was Zapico amps. Remember the yellow Volkswagen bus? Team Pure Sound.
Okay.
Do you
remember the Boss vehicle that Sam Horn made?
With the military
Boss Cannon.
That's the truck that Sam Horn helped build, isn't it?
Well, Sam Horn built the Boss. It was one of those armored vehicles that pick up money from the banks. And it was called the Boss Cannon. That was meticulous vehicle there.
Yeah,
you know?
180 speakers or something like that.
What?
It was insane. But it was the equalizer. Is what? Yeah, Dan Kern said it was the equalizer.
What?
That thing was meticulous. And Sam Horn's really good for that still too. You know. Then you had on the other end, you had the guys like Team Trendsetters. Man, they looked like they rattle cammed their car on the way in, you know?
Another team that back in the days was, I mean, everybody wants to beat them, was Team Loud from Finland.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys, they had to push the limit too. And It's so many competitors that in the past, I mean, Mikko Virta, for example, it's a competitor from Finland. Most of the guys here don't even know who Mikko Virta is, but
I just know Marco.
yeah, Marco, it's very smart guy, but Mikko Virta, he had opened the book to me in 2003 when I got DQ. He showed me the band pass design. It was Mikko Virta that shows me. He said, no, we're doing a different design with the center console. I was like, what? And he drew it out in a piece of napkin. For me and Jessa, we was in a DD meeting, and then he wrote it down in a piece of napkins, and I saved in my pocket. I got it back home. I told my wife, I'm going to tear up this thing and build this console idea. And it was a 10 dB gain, like he said.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was a 10 dB gain. Mikko Virta said, you build a console, you will go up 10 dB.
Yep.
And that's when I first start to understand the conception of what people doing now, the band pass type of design. You know, talking about this design, guys, what make this design loud? Back in the days, the extreme cars, we had to compress the whole front of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when the sound wave presses the B pillar, we was compressing the whole front. Thousands and liters to compress. Now with the band pad design, we divide the front cabin in half. And now the driver's side of the vehicle is part of your box. Yeah, actually you're only compressing half the size of your front cabin right now. That's why the band pad design is so loud. You know.
So what he's talking about, Lucky, is essentially your center console.
Yeah.
So I learned this back when he did too.
Okay.
Is your port.
Okay.
Right. So everything, So everything to the driver's side and everything behind it is all box.
Okay.
And so your center console and the way you design it becomes your port. The width of it, the height of it, all that basically becomes the port. So you're literally sticking a meter or the sensor 18 inches, 20 inches in front of your port.
Gotcha.
Is the idea behind the design of the extreme vehicle.
Okay. And your windshield now is your passenger wing.
Yep.
Now, another point I would like to bring it over to these new competitors. I mean, if your windshield now is your passenger door window, think about how strong your door needs to be.
Yeah.
Your passenger door.
Yeah.
To hold all that energy that's going to hit it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Alan told me, how much do each one of your doors weigh, Alan?
My driver's door is not so heavy. It's 500 kilos.
So what's that in pounds? That's 2.2, right? So it's like 300 pounds, right?
And the passenger door around 1 ton.
So around 2,000 pounds.
Wow.
2,000 pounds, yeah, the passenger door, because that's the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, she cannot move it.
Right.
You know, and that's the biggest thing, that when you understand that you're dealing with an enclosure, actually, not a car, then you get loud.
Yeah.
And when you still think, oh, that's my dash, and that's, you're not going to understand the conception, and you're still going to waste your time doing rounds and stuff that doesn't affect you.
And that's where I'm at right now, is I'm fighting the whole, what do I do now? Because I love my truck, I love the way it looks. I'm already splitting up my dash, and it's killing me. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm trying to get loud, and I'm coming to this point now where it's like, do I just get another vehicle? Do I wall this off and just say fuck it? You know, I don't. But yeah, so
on the street cars that you drive around town and demo.
Yeah.
You need to understand the frequency range is different.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
In my car, I design all the energy to be focusing in 4 different frequencies. You know, and you guys got to deal with 80 frequencies, from 20 to You know,
Right.
so many hertz needs to go through the speakers. Then you need to think about it when you're playing 30 hertz.
Yeah.
Man, that's gonna suck a lot of energy from your batteries. It's gonna heat up the speakers much faster than 80 hertz or 70.
Right. Right.
Then SPL cars are totally different than daily drivers.
Okay.
Even demo.
Yep. Yep.
Think about this. If you try to fit inside your car a quarter wave from 20 hertz, man, it's bigger than any car. A quarter wave.
Yep. Yeah, quarter wave. Yes.
It's bigger than any car. Than a full wave. You need probably a bus.
Yeah.
A school bus. Huh? No, it's 8.5 meters. Depending the temperature, it get even longer.
Right.
You know, and if the colder is, the more compressed. But if you're getting into 100, 110 Fahrenheit, the sound wave is so damn big, it won't fit in a car.
Yep.
Right.
Then I think the biggest issue that you guys dealing with right now is trying to play a frequency that doesn't fit in a car, and this you will just tear the car apart.
Yeah. Right.
Bigger
Right.
in the car, and then think about this. When
So, oh, go ahead.
I give an example. 40 hertz, 150 dB.
Mm-hmm.
Then the same 40 hertz, 180 dB. The energy, it's so much stronger in dBs that you need to build a car that's really, I mean, I don't see materials that can handle that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I opt to play higher notes, because I can actually brace the car and contain that frequency inside. But a lot of people ask, well, why not build 20 hertz dB and 20 hertz and do 180? Because I mean, car needs to be 1 meter thick, the walls. I mean, to hold that kind of energy. I mean,
Yeah.
the materials that we have right now is not able. The sound is the only thing can travel across any material.
Yeah.
It's if we look the terrorists doesn't understand about sound at all, because if they really get to a sound explosion, this is get mean. You know, that can get really mean. Think about Krakatoa volcano.
Yeah.
190 dB, and they changed the temperature in the earth back when the volcano explodes. Then you doing 185 inside the car, it's a lot of pressure. You know, you're dealing with the stuff. Like I said, as we start, it's a learning process, and any competitor on this planet that says they can do 190 dB, he had to go through the things I went.
Right.
To understand what you need to do 190. I'm ready to build.
Right.
I know what needs to be done. Yeah.
Right.
But Brazil is a country that technology doesn't come here. We do things in the rough way. You know, it's no technology. You gotta deal with stuff that will be.
I'm cut. Can you hear him or no?
I can't hear him either. We lost you. You still there, Alan? Can you hear us? We can't hear you.
We can't hear you at all.
Yep. Something's going on with your audio. So I just
Okay,
so
now I can hear you, I think. Can you hear
Alan?
me?
You hear me?
There you go.
Yes. Hey, I just want to point out Don Hebig, DB Don, says you have to see sound differently to see the wave forward in the future. It's all about pressure waves, and that's how we're going to get better, is what Don has on here. That's paraphrasing a little bit, but yes, that's what he says.
And he's right. People need to understand what they're dealing with. You know, car auto, for example, if I ask here how many competitors that tested their car with the meter outside the windshield, I guarantee none will say, "Oh, I never done that."
All right.
I do. I test my car with the SPL meter outside and one inside. I want to know how much energy actually I'm losing when I'm burping. And hey, man, the little meter outside has shown me many leaking spots where I have an energy just going lost. Oh, I gotta brace better this place in my car because it's too loud outside here. And
okay.
The best meter to do that is the audio control, the first one.
The stick mic.
That's what I was just going to ask you. Are you talking about using a stick mic and going around your vehicle to see where the air is coming out? Is that what you're talking about? Or am I understanding that wrong?
No, for example, if I put the sensor in the windshield inside the car.
Right. Okay.
I will have a meter on the same place outside.
Outside the car. Okay. Same spot on the outside of the windshield.
And I
Gotcha.
measured pressure in and out.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So that's great and everything, but like when a street car, it moves, and the idea behind some of these street cars though is you need to use that flex. That becomes, you want to couple the wave, and that car becomes a passive radiator. You know, when you're at lower SPL levels, that's doable and it makes sense. But when you get up to 180, now there's no way that can become a passive radiator. It has to be the box.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge difference in like a street build versus an extreme build. You know,
yeah, the street classes are 100% efficiency cars.
Yes.
You know, you got to work your efficiency up.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme cars, same way, but extreme cars, you don't have a limitation. The street class, you cannot brace the outside of the car. You cannot do much. Then the street class.
Hey, actually, this year they allowed you can strap it, so you can put a tow strap around and ratchet it down on a street car now.
Oh wow!
Think about it. In some cars, they help.
Yes.
Others, when you latch them, and maybe you brace one spot,
right?
The other spot vibrates even more.
Yeah,
right.
With my truck holding the doors or anything like that, it lowers my score. And then
it hurts.
Yes, so I tell people get the fuck away from my truck. Don't touch nothing. Now they know, but I used to burp, and then I would get a score, and then next thing you know, there's like 20 people trying to push on my tailgate and on my doors, and score would drop. So don't touch nothing. Let it be.
But you know why? You know why it's louder?
Why is that?
Because the wave, when you holding.
So yeah, like you were just saying.
Creating cancellation.
Right. So like you were saying a second ago, with that wave, it's actually creating more pressure to hit that mic.
When you let the wave escape, you actually help the wave not be canceled.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's like I don't know if you've seen this, but I see a lot of bass race cars. They take the rub around the doors out, and they get louder.
Oh wow!
It's licking like crazy, and then it's louder. You know.
Huh.
Yep. Kind of like back in your window, basically.
Yeah,
Same
just
thing.
like you open your window. You know, some guys they don't use even rub around the doors. I mean,
what a trip!
Some shows I've been, I see that a lot. You know, the wave able to travel out the car actually helps sometimes. And not in my case. My case, as more I hold it, is better.
Yeah, because like you said, yours is actually used as the box.
Yeah, the car needs to hold the acoustic energy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
To be able to build pressure. If you think about a balloon, if you blow in air and the balloon keep on getting bigger, you're not building pressure. And the car is the same thing. If you're blowing the pressure in and the car is leaking air or vibrating, you're not creating pressure. The beginning of extreme car, you need to learn how to make an airtight vehicle, and 100% vibration has to go away. You have to brace it.
Oh wow!
The ideal extreme vehicle, all you hear outside is a little bit, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anything else you hear above that is lost dBs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been around vehicles doing 180s or 170s yet, so you know what I mean? I think the loudest that I've heard was probably 162, 163-ish, somewhere around there, or 165
I think we had a couple of 165s and maybe even a 166.
Okay.
So here in California, we got a lot of guys that do demo and show off their vehicles. We don't have any extreme vehicles in this area. So, and our DB drag competitors, I'm not saying they're not serious. They are absolutely serious. But on a national level, their numbers aren't as high because they don't have local guys pushing them, right? So like our No Walls guy, he's going to come to the show this weekend and he's going to do a 64 or 65 maybe.
But it's good for his marketing.
But it's great for his area. I mean, he's miles above everybody else in the area. But on a national level, he's like
nothing.
number 8 or 9, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it's cool. I mean, I appreciate that he's getting there and doing what he's doing, and that's great. So a lot of these guys, they haven't been to an area that's seen these 180 plus vehicles, and you know, they're pretty impressive. And I'm sure you remember Big Okie, right? You know, Michael Mueller, and his thing was he used to sit inside a 170 plus car with a thumb up and a cup of coffee.
Every car.
Yeah.
Every car.
So
he's from Germany, isn't he?
Huh?
He's from Germany.
He still lives in Germany. He's stepping back right now from car audio. He's got personal stuff going on, and you know, he's taking care of his personal stuff. So he's old.
Big Oak was called Big Oak.
Yeah. Well, you know, he used to travel the United States every year, and when he would do that,
he's never been a cough on that cup.
Oh no, there'd never be any coffee in it. It's just a cup.
It's a beer.
Oh, it's a beer. He is German. Germans love their beer. Yes, they do. Just like them Canadians.
Man, they like the beer too, huh?
They love the beer.
The twins gave to me, they said if I beat some guy at that time, they gave me a case of beer. Yep. And I ended up beating the guy. They gave me 24 beers, 11% alcohol.
Yeah, it's real beer.
Yeah, I was going to say 11%. Damn.
11%.
Wow.
I drink 2 cans. I was fucked up in the lane.
Oh, my God.
That's twins' fault.
Yeah.
That's the twins' fault. All right.
Dan,
did you want to hit some of those questions, Lucky?
Dan Kern's leaving some good comments. I'm not sure if I'm gaining copious amounts of knowledge at the moment or if I'm realizing I'm as dumb as a brick. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. I'm going into the comments now, and some are popping up before and after. So like I see Celise said, yeah, Super Street allows the strap. DB Don said test by changing mass and each panel, changing panel resonance to create in a phase resonance. So
what he's saying there is you change the mass of the panel itself. It'd be a plastic panel, a wood panel, doesn't matter.
So
you change how thick it is, right? How dense it is. So like if you hit it with the hammer and it has a different frequency when you hit it, that's changing the mass.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you change the mass of that panel and don't change anything else and see what happens to your score or your frequency.
Right.
Then change another panel.
Right.
And then you start putting those things together, and that's basically what Alan's doing in his car and he's talking about. That's why one door weighs 300 pounds, the other door weighs 2,000 pounds.
Right.
Because he's changed the mass on each panel as you go around and follow the wave.
Yeah.
And
that's what he's talking about there.
In the extreme car, in my case, the passenger compartment needs to be so strong because that's where the magic is going to happen.
Right.
The passenger compartment is definitely the most strong place in the whole vehicle, but you got to know the percentage that you need behind it. Like a lot of people, they ask me, why your driver's side is weak? I said, no, it's not weak. It's doing only 178 dB. I don't need to be stronger than my passenger side. You know, I'm not losing any energy on that side. Then why build the stronger and heavier if I don't need? You know.
Right.
What I'm coming across right now, it's something it will be tell here in your channel. we're focusing to build a new Extreme One woofer car.
Okay.
Oh, he's giving you an exclusive, sir.
All right. All right.
Yeah, that's exclusive because I feel that's the only way to do 109.
It's one woofer.
Yeah, it's the only way.
You remove all the other problems with the other woofers and coupling waves and yeah.
Wow.
We just need to build now the correct design. And me and another guy from USA is working on that right now. And very soon, I wish we start this project, and maybe in a couple of years, we'll be able to do the number. The physics has shown it's possible. I mean, I've done so many tests here in the past. To be honest, the COVID-19 has helped me a whole lot because I was able to stop competing and focus on testing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's been 6 months fully testing. And it's funny because of the amount of try and errors we do, it's so little of change that most people won't even see. It's like, oh,
right.
Did you change anything here? Yes, it's a lot of change.
Yeah.
It's one centimeter can be a whole lot.
Right. Right.
And
Lucky's learning that in his street car, right? It's your visor.
Yeah.
Your visor is like this, or it's facing like this. I mean, you move the visor literally an inch or two, and it changes
everything. Yeah. So I'm new. Obviously, yeah, like he said earlier, I've been doing this for 2 years, and I'm just now getting to the point where I'm really trying to find. I have so much fun competing that for like probably year and a half, I just had fun, and now I'm finally getting to the point where I'm trying to find those little things, like what can I do here? What can I do there? So now I'm realizing those little tiny things, like he said, the visor. So now I'm to the point now where if I burp, I make sure if I burp again, I make sure that visor is in that same I remove it again because I know that it came down even a half an inch is going to make a difference. So whatever I do it this way. And then I'll go back forward, and then I'll try it again this way, see which gets louder. That's one thing that I've learned. Doug's taught me, test it one way, and then go backwards, test it again, and then go forward and test it again to make sure that it gained.
How many times I went backwards?
Right. Right.
It's not one time. It's so many times.
Yeah.
I remember the one woofer car, the one we was tuning that wall. Ryan told me, car was doing like 180.5 in the garage. I said, now I'm going to cut the wall and move 1/8 of an inch back. He's like, what? I say, yeah. That shit was well in place. So we cut the wall out and moved it back. And there was a 0.3,
And that's big. That's a good gain.
Yeah. Because at 180.9, 180.7 was the loudness we got in the garage with a single sub.
It was a what?
180.7. It was the best score out of single sub. And that's back in 2007.
It kills me sometimes. Man, I'll never forget when I hit a 150. I think everybody remembers their first 150. But I tell you what, I just hear these guys talking about doing these 160s and 170s way back when with one sub, and it's just like, geez, I'm over here trying to hit a 156.
And almost no power.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, how much power were you running to hit your 180, Alan?
Back in then, 21,000 watts.
Which was huge then, right?
Yeah, I was going to say.
How much power are you running?
Right now?
Yeah.
Total power, 87,000 watts.
Oh,
yeah.
Way.
So 4 times what you were doing back then.
Yeah. 4 times more power.
Yeah.
It's 4 times more vibration, 4 times more problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. The car is designed for about 200,000 watts. It can handle.
Let's see, Arthur. Who is USA Extreme One?
Oh, he was asking who's helping Dante in the USA.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's up to Dante whether he wants to say his name or not.
When Lucky hit his first 150, it was a 151. Yeah, right. So I was trying so hard to get a 150. Little story with Bobby Gately. I was told by
150. When you first break the 50s, it's crazy.
yeah.
It's a feeling that you, woo, boy, I'm getting forward, you know.
I was aching for that sticker at the show, man. And I had one guy promise me, I guarantee you'll get a 150, and it didn't happen. And then Bobby Gately was like, I will get you a 150 or better. And and that's what he just put right now. As he said, Lucky's first 150 was a 151.2, is what I think I got. Just to get that sticker, and I got over a 150. Shout out to Bobby Gately. That's who does all my boxes now, and been getting louder and louder and louder. But yeah, that 150 is amazing. But still, man, I hear the stories of people hitting these 60s, 70s, and it's just like 80s. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's insane. Insane. Oh no! Trust me. I know that. I know if you go higher, it's not going to be done. You're going to want to go higher. I tell people all the time. That's why I came out with SPL Junkie. It's addicting, and you never stop. You just want more and more. Never stops. I remember when I told Bobby. I remember telling Bobby Gately. I said, all I care about is getting 150 dB, and I'll be happy from there. I'm good. If I could break. Fuck, I'm high 155s, and I'm like, damn it, I need to be at a 160.5 or a 160.5. It's like I'm trying to get louder now. So, but yeah, I think everybody with that first 150, man, I've seen it several times too. They light up so bright, they're just so ecstatic. I'll never forget that with me.
I went across all those. First 150 was a big goal. The show I first did 150s was a car doing 170s.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, actually it was crazy. Like I said, Alma Gates was at the show, and then I saw this guy from Brazil named Diógenes Serantola. He was from JBL back in then, all JBL stuff. And he did 70.8. It was like, wow. And he let me look inside the car. It was like I was like looking inside the NASA,
Yeah, but that's what pushes us. It's people that get discouraged over that. They're in this for the wrong reason. That should motivate you. When I see like Jose Ramos, every time we win against each other, from Fat Boy Car Stereo in Oakland, right? Real good buddy of mine. So they own a stereo shop out there. And every time I went against him, he always beat me by just a few tenths, and it pushed me. It didn't make me want to quit or like, fuck, I don't want to go against this guy. It was like, okay, what do I got to do? I got to get past that, and now I'm finally past that. I think he's changing his build now to a different build, maybe because I got him. Maybe, I don't know. But that should push people. That's what makes you want to go further. If somebody gets you, all right, what I got to do here? I got to learn some new tricks or get some new tips from some people and go from there. But that's what keeps it interesting, and that's why it's never going to stop. Nobody's in a. Yeah, go ahead.
What keeps our sport? It's that that we can actually. Make whatever you want with the equipment. Either you can build a shitty box and have a whatever, or either you put all your input on and build a nice system. I tell a lot of people, before you design your car audio, make sure what fits in your car first.
Yeah.
Okay, some people that try to put so many subwoofers, but the box is 5 liters per speakers. Tuning at 300 hertz, but you have a lot of speakers in there.
Yeah, right.
Trying to play 40 hertz out of something tuning totally wrong. And I tell people, why don't you get what you can fit in and actually juice, with alternators and good wiring, good battery. If I'm going to build a system in my daily car, I will start from the alternator.
Right.
Why should I build a system bigger than my alternator?
Right.
you're gonna burn stuff.
That's what. Yes, I tell people all the time now. Now that I've learned a few things, I've seen that all the things that I've done in the beginning, I was going ass backwards. Everybody wants to get a really, really good subs and a prefab $40 box, or they want to get this. And I see it I just seen it yesterday. Somebody came to my house, and they're like, I got these problems, this and that. And I look, and they got, shitty wiring, and not enough wiring. And
no grounding.
Right. And nothing's,
grounding.
where it's grounded, it's not sanded, it's not grounded in the right spots. And I'm like, I try to tell everybody that's getting into it, fuck the subwoofers in the box and everything right now. Start with your battery, your alternator, and all your wiring. Get that solid as can be. Imagine you're going to go for the biggest build possible, because I've never met anybody that had a system, because this is what I always hear. I'm not trying to compete like you guys, or I'm not trying to be that loud. And then they get something. Exactly. You get it and you go, man, this is loud. And a week later you go, fuck, this ain't loud. I need to get more. So if you have the alternators, the batteries, and the wiring, you can go more now. Instead of now, I got to fucking take it out. I got to add more wires. Everything.
You brought a point. That's what they do. They won't get louder. They think that if they spend $1,000 more than a pair of speakers, they're forgetting about that same setup.
Yes.
He spent some money in the wiring.
Yes.
In the batteries and the alternators, and build a good box. That same equipment can be 10 times stronger, and you don't spend money around.
I try to tell people it's like running with a straw in your mouth. This guy came over with a 6,000 watt sundown amp and had I think 2 runs of some shitty 0 gauge wire, and I'm like, and a little tiny battery, and I go, and that's what you got powering that? And I open up my truck and I let him see my setup, and his jaw dropped, and I go, I'm running this, and now you see my wiring. You know what I mean? So you got to get equivalent, start with your foundation and everything. And that's how I always tell people. It's like running with the straw in your mouth. There was a car at Surf City, or a truck, and I can't remember what he was running. I wasn't feeling good that year. I was a bit hungover. So I was sitting in my truck, and my buddy comes over and he goes, "Have you heard that truck over there? That thing is fucking killing it." And I heard it, and he tells me it was a bunch of, if I could be wrong, but I want to say it was Sony Explodes. But because the design of the box and everything that was done, that fucking thing was killing it. So
think about it. A pair of Sony Explode is not so powerful,
right?
But if you feed right, they can be mean.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll tell you a story that happened to me. And car out is crazy. I have a friend. He has a JBL subwoofer in a bucket.
And a bucket.
The drywall bucket.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Drywall mud bucket.
Yep.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He had a speaker on that box, and it was so loud. I told him, if you build a 25 millimeter MDF box, a 1 inch MDF is gonna be so much better. It was less.
Yeah.
Then I was like, what the hell? But then we go back to, like Dog was saying, you're using the car.
Oh, they're tearing it up out there. You live on a racetrack?
That's some kind of Porsche. We just went by here.
Yeah. But yeah.
Believe me, my house is closer to a big avenue in town.
Oh, okay.
And now it's 10:30 in Brazil. Then in about half hour, they start to mess around there.
I was going to say, because it's getting pretty noisy over there. I can hear them cars going.
Motorcycles, man.
Motorcycles.
Yeah, there are a lot of motorcycles. They street race here. I like crazy. There's no police control.
Well, shit, maybe I better move.
Yeah, 3 miles is a 3 miles straight line.
Wow, yeah.
Across my road, they just street race all night long here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Let's see here.
Hey, we might have to roll this into a second one another time.
Yeah.
Hour 30 is getting pretty long.
Yeah, so
I'm okay as far as you guys okay.
I got my wife over here giving me the evil eye. I always do the hour live feed, so she turns the TV off. Well, hey, Alan, I really want to thank you very, very much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, and thank you, Doug, for being on here as well. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do a part 2 because I could tell that there's a lot more knowledge out there. I'm like a kid in a school class right now listening to everything, so I definitely want to do a part 2. What was that?
Maybe we can have him and Munson on together.
That would be a riot. That would be a riot right there. I think, you know what? We got
in 1 month.
In
1 month.
In 1 month?
No, and let's do this. If you guys want to share some crazy stuff, I'm getting ready to do some tests.
Okay.
And I don't mind show what's going to happen.
Awesome.
Because in Brazil right now, we're unable to burp our cars because of no shows, COVID-19, all this problem. Okay. Then there's no DB drag racing out here. It's going to have a little bit shows this year, but not 2X or 3Xs. Then I would like to do a live burp one time.
Okay. Awesome.
Just for people to see what's inside the garage right now.
Awesome. Okay.
We'd love to run that on the show. Huh, Lucky?
Hey, let me get in my calendar real quick. Saute.
Next week, I'm back in testing. B2 just sent me, Jay from B2 just sent me from Europe some crazy Neo bars. It's
okay.
Yeah, we're designing a crazy subwoofer right now. We want to get louder with the equipment. We don't want to work with the car anymore.
So how's the 18th sound to you next Friday? Do you want to push it? Do you want to push it out further? I got somebody on the 25th. Chevy Black's going to be on here on the 25th, and then let's see. I got October 2nd open, October the 16th open, or would you want to just
October?
Okay,
October 16th.
16th. Okay, well. So we could. It'd be better on. So my birthday is 18th. We could do the 16th.
Well, you born in October?
October 18th, and then my wife.
10.
What was
October
that?
10.
Okay, my wife is October 9th. Yeah.
Oh damn! Well,
yeah. Right.
We must make a party in October then.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's do. You want to do October 16th?
That works for me.
Okay, let's do same time, 5 o'clock, or what do we do today? 5 o'clock Pacific time, right?
Yeah, 5 o'clock. And let's try to get Nathan on there. I'll jump out, and it could be the three of you guys with Nathan Munson.
Yeah.
That'll be a great live feed, in my opinion.
And you know, like I said, you need to. I will try to interview Greg Butler. I think he's got a good stories to tell. Scott Owens.
I'm working on Scott Owens right now. You know, he stepped away from SPL.
Push him. Hey, we want to hear you, man.
Yes.
It's so important, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got you Wednesday, 16th. Well, yeah, thank you guys for being on here. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all my sponsors for everything you do for me. I really appreciate all of you. And
sponsor, B2.
There you go, B2 in the house. Yep. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there. Let's see if we got any other questions real quick or anything. Let's see. Yep, Tiffany from SQ Sound says, please do that. I'm sure she's talking about the show.
His mom said she loved the show.
Awesome.
Alan's mom loved the show.
Awesome. That's always good.
She's a good girl, man. And she's always spray and...
Yeah. That's good.
And hold my daddy. Oh, let him do it. His thing.
Yeah. That's good. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you very much, guys.
And definitely, so keep your eye out for the 16th, everybody. We're going to get this going with Nathan Munson and Alan Dante again. And we'll watch him burp and see what he does in the garage. So, yeah, don't forget to go to my YouTube channel, Lucky McGovern. You'll see a picture of the piggy bank on there. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you get alerted every time I upload a video. This Sunday is our Stockton Beatdown car show / DB Drag show. It's a 3X show. It's at the 99 Speedway on Wilson Way in Stockton, California. We're going to have a bunch of lowriders out there. Yeah, like I said, it's a 3X show. It's going to be a big deal. Also, a couple people were asking if there was going to be a problem having the cars on the runway, because if a car spilled a little bit of oil or whatever, there is no problem. We are all going to be on the runway, the people that pay to be in there. We're able to park wherever we want on the racetrack. That's not a problem. It's already been confirmed. So I just wanted to make that clear. And yeah, hope to see you guys there. Me and Cy Morrison and Doug Stockton will be out there. We'll have booths. Low Hertz Car Audio is going to be there. DC Audio, Justin Hankey's going to be there. Let's see. Me and Cy Morrison will be there. So I have my SPL Junkie gear. He'll have his Basshead gear. And I think that's... What was that? And Doug's wife with the jewelry, yes. And they'll have food out there, hot dogs, nachos, and soda. Oh, and let me clarify this real quick, because I've been asked this every time I've done a live feed lately, and I keep forgetting to put this in there. You guys are allowed to bring your own waters. The food and beverages, they're going to sell there. That's their call. Mm-hmm. But yes, you can bring your own waters. That was a big concern of people. They were like, hey, you know, we're going to be drinking a lot of water out there. I don't want to have to pay no $30, $50 for bottled waters. So yes, you can bring your own water out there.
And there's not porta potties. There's actual bathrooms.
There's bathrooms there, not porta potties.
Watch for this virus, guys. Be careful.
Yes. Also, so everybody knows, I said this before, I'll say it again, because this is going to be the last live feed before the show. They are going to be providing masks out there if you don't have one. So if you want to wear it, go ahead and wear it. But they will provide it. You will, when you pull up to the gate, you're going to have to sign your name and date COVID paper. And then they're going to take your temperature. It'll be real quick. You'll be in and out of there. It's not like you're going to have to do some big, huge form. It's just signing and dating it and your temperature, and you'll be told where to park at. So that being said, we'll end this BASSHEAD Diaries Chapter 3, another one for the books. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate you, brother. You have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Don't hang up yet, Alan.
Thank you, Doc.